Hello, everybody. So this is the video for Wednesday, November 3rd, and we are going to be doing a step-by-step guide for how to fill out the template for the exploratory essay outline. I'm going to make this very straightforward, so you can pause the video as many times as you need to see how we do this. So I'm going to go into screen sharing right now. And here from our website on Blackboard, we're going to go into content. And we're going to find that template in the Unit 2 folder. Going into Unit 2, we're going to scroll down and we're going to find the outline template for the exploratory essay. And it's right here. So let's open that up. Okay, so in this, I'm just going to show you what to do. This is the easy part, right? So your name here, right? You're going to type directly into the sheet, your topic. So I'm going to do sort of an example topic. Let's say that my topic is the dangers of online COVID misinformation. Okay, the title of my essay, not really sure if I'm going to go with this or not, but I kind of like deadly misinformation. Okay, I'm going to start putting things in a different color because it's always good to put it in a different color so I don't give the instructor a headache. Right, so I can find what I've written really easily. My two in-class sources. For my two in-class sources, this part's easy. All we have to do is go to the in-class source list right here, open it up, and find the two articles that I want to quote from, right? So scrolling through here, I'm going to find my two articles. Remember that these are all things that we've studied in class. They're all things that we've read and done assignments about. All right, so I'm going to pick these two as my in-class sources because one of them here is about mass conflict descending into violence. The other one is about anti-vaccine groups pushing people to leave ICUs. Those look like dangerous situations that have been caused by COVID misinformation. So I'm going to just go up to copy, except I'm just going to do it on the keyboard. Control copy, minimize that. My two in-class sources, boom, there they go. My two in-class sources are right there. And the nice thing is they're already formatted for a works cited page, right? Your two in-class sources. There they are. Okay. Now your out of class source. Let's say that for my out of class source, I found this really cool article in the Rolling Stone, right? So this is rollingstone.com, how the anti-vaxxers got red pilled. This is the outside source that I want to use. So I have to lay that out the same way, okay? So my out of class source has to be laid out the same way as my two in-class sources. So the first thing I have to find is the author's name, Tim Dickinson. So remember, it's always last name first. Always, always last name first. Dickinson, comma, Tim. And then a period, because that's how we format it in APA formatting and in MLA formatting. Now we're going to need to know the title. Title is up here, How the Anti-Vaxxers Got Red Pilled. So I'm just going to write that out. right? A little dash to separate that from the publication, which is Rolling Stone. Now I got to find the date. Date. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Where is that date? Sometimes you have to kind of poke around a little bit to find it. Oh, there it is, February 10th, 2021. I had to put a comma to separate it. I'm going to put the title in italics. And then the very last thing is the URL. Copy the URL, put it down here. And don't forget to put in one tab space, tab, right? Boom, a perfectly formatted citation, okay? So that's what's gonna go on your works cited page, exactly formatted just like this. You're just gonna take out that text of your two in-class sources, boom, boom, boom. Those are your three sources, okay? Now, central question about your topic that you want to explore. Let's say that for my central question, what I'm interested in are, what are the results of the uncontrolled spread of online disinformation about COVID-19? All right, so just be aware that when I'm asking about what are the results, I'm going to need to find some specific examples of what comes from the disinformation. If I put what are the causes of the uncontrolled spread, that's a different set of data that I'm looking for. So in other words, then I would go into where are people getting these ideas, and I would have to document what are the online sources of online misinformation. But if I'm saying what are the results, I need to see direct real world consequences for people having the wrong idea about COVID, about the vaccine, believing COVID isn't real, for example, or the vaccine's going to kill you, for example. What are the results of that? All right, so the instruction tells me to keep my sources open while I'm filling this out. So I'm going to keep them open while I'm filling it out. Okay, so I'm going to keep open the Rolling Stone one here, the AP News one here, and the NBC News one here. Okay, let me just keep them out of the way, but I want to be able to refer to them as I need them. All right. Let me see, body paragraphs in the first page. I need to break down the central question into three aspects. Okay, so this is the most important part, is to get parts 1 through 3 down. Okay, so this, especially these two parts right here, I want you to know what are the aspects of your topic that you want to get into. So if my question is, what are the results of the uncontrolled spread of online misinformation on COVID, then I want to like make sure that I've got 3 specific things. So from my sources, what I've been able to see from my sources, from the AP story, it's about the protests and about how the protests against the vaccine mandates are getting more violent. From the NBC News one, it's more about the patients in the hospital and dangers to them. So let's start writing down what these aspects are. So aspect 1 is vaccine refusal. Vaccine refusal leading to further spread of the virus. Okay, more people refuse to get the vaccine, the longer it's going to take to get this virus under control. All right, aspect 2, COVID patients and hospital staff in danger from relatives denying COVID. Okay, so relatives of patients deny that COVID is real, try to pull their patients out of the hospital. The NBC News article documents that really well and what the dangerous results of that are. It causes a danger to hospital staff and of course a danger to the patients who need to be treated. So then there's the third aspect, and from the Rolling Stone article, I've been able to come to the idea here that the increasingly violent protests against mask mandates, vaccine mandates are creating just a dangerous situation in our society, right? So for public health workers, for people in schools and public places, so any place where COVID information is being shared, any place where public health work is being done, these protests are causing a risk to that kind of progress. So here are my three aspects: vaccine refusal leading to further spread of the virus, so further cases of COVID, COVID patients and hospital staff being in danger, and then the danger of increasingly violent protests in the streets and in public places against mask mandates and vaccine mandates. We've been seeing a lot of this on airplanes lately, right? Now, remember that you are not limited to just 2 in-class sources. So let's say that in the process of writing this, you suddenly realize that the airplane situation is a great example. You can imagine how frightening it would be to be a flight attendant and have a passenger punch you in the face because they don't want to wear a mask, right? You've given them a request, please put on your mask, sir, and then they get violent with you, right? This definitely is a risk. It's definitely happening. You could find information about this, right? You are not limited to just 1 out of class source, right? You can add as many as you like. This is a minimum of 1 out of class source, right? So then you get into the third part. What does source 1 have to say about it? And this is, right? So in this, you can summarize, right? You can summarize. So what does source 1 have to say about it? And you could say, let's see, NBC News gives examples of violent protests. You could see AP News article documents patients being pulled from ICU by COVID denying relatives. Okay. So of course I'm typing fast. I have to go and correct my stuff later. What source 3 has to say about any of the aspects. My outside source says something very interesting in that Rolling Stone article. It's about 5 pages long. It includes some history, so that's going to be interesting. Vaccine, let's see, anti-vax movement in US has long history. Social media is new. All right. So in other words, the social media makes it easier to spread misinformation, but there's nothing really new about anti-vaccine conspiracy theories. That's actually has a long history in the United States. So that's where I'm going with this. I don't need to have my quotes figured out at this point. I don't need to have everything all worked out at this point. I just need to know what I'm going to be writing about. What are the 3 parts of the problem that I'm going to be writing about? And how do my sources connect? How are my sources going to help me write about those 3 parts? That's what I'm doing. So as far as the, this is how I would like you to give me the citations. So this is how it's going to appear on your works cited page. Okay, so start by copying and pasting your in-class sources, and then imitate that formatting when you're putting down your out-of-class source. Okay, that is what we're doing. So I'm gonna close this out. Actually, I'm gonna hit don't save. And I hope that's helpful. Remember that it is due at the end of the week. You have until the end of the day on Saturday, November 6th to get this in. Please upload it to the upload prompt for the outline template provided. And good luck, everybody. Email me if you have any questions. Thanks.